This business was only doing $5,000 in email marketing revenue, and we were able to 10x it in a very short amount of time. Most clients that come to us, whether they're doing $1 million a month or $1,000 a month, they don't have enough email marketing. I've never seen somebody doing enough. Email marketing is actually going to be your most profitable channel that you're ever gonna see. If I help you do that, then I definitely want a crisp high five, virtually on LinkedIn. What's up, Vegas? How are we today? Can I get a hell yeah? Hell yeah! Woo! What's up, guys? My name is Caroline Castile. Super excited to talk to you today. My goal today is for you to make more money tomorrow than today. So if I help you do that, then I definitely want a crisp high five, virtually on LinkedIn tomorrow. Today I'm going to be talking about how to make 7 figures from email marketing this year. Email marketing takes a bit to build. You're not going to make that money tomorrow, but my promise to you is if you work on it every day and you understand it from a high level, you can find a team to do it for you or do it a little bit yourself, but we want you to run the company. We don't want you actually doing email marketing. We want you to understand the techniques, the know-how, and what you need to do to actually build some real profit through email marketing. Because email marketing is actually going to be your most profitable channel that you're ever going to see. So I want to make sure to give you as many gold nuggets today as possible. Awesome. Let's do it. The last slide was email on performance. That's what our marketing agency does. We do email marketing on performance for e-commerce brands. A little bit about me. I exited my first business, Florida Angel Nexus, back in 2018. It was one of the biggest venture capital groups in the state of Florida of its time. We helped raise $20 million for 69 Florida tech companies. Got a few College of Business Hall of Fame awards from UCF, go UCF. And then after I sold my venture capital business, I realized there's a big opportunity out there to help a lot of brands and partner with them and really grow them, because there's a lot of brands that need capital and there's a lot of brands that need more sales. Really, what's bigger than more capital is you just need sales, right? So if we can help other brands just get better at sales online, then we can help them grow. And then wanted to feature one of our brands, Flightpath Golf, which is what Mike just talked about, does about 6 million a year on online revenue. Awesome. So that's what we sell. Bam, you already know. We sell widgets. If you want this slide, you can follow along with me and scan the QR code. I'll give a couple seconds. 3, 2, 1. Some people kind of like to follow along, and like go through the slides themselves. I'm more of a visual person like that too, so there you go. I want to kind of show you guys some real results that we've gotten for different clients. This is you're looking at a dashboard right here from a digital marketing Shopify store. This was already doing 1.83 million a month, but they were only doing 53,000 from email marketing. Within a month, we launched 100 emails that were automated. We were able to double their revenue to 120,000 a month in email marketing. And basically that's pure profit, right? So we just doubled their profit in 30 days. And that was just through some automations. We're gonna go through what that looks like in the secret sauce. This is a different brand. The previous brand sells about 6 widgets. This brand sells mattresses, so way different type of business, more high ticket. This business was only doing $5,000 in email marketing revenue, and we were able to 10x it in a very short amount of time. Let's see, what was the time frame here? July to August. So pretty short time period. So what's the first step? How do I build this awesome email list, right? And start building at least into your first $1 million online? Well, you need 3 things. 3 things only. It's very simple. You need one niche. Who are you marketing to? One product. Only one. You don't need 1,000 products to market. As you saw in the other slides, the first slide, they were doing 7 figures a month. They only had 6 products. And then you need one channel. That's what you need to start out with first. So are you going to use organic traffic and post every day? Are you going to cold outreach to different retailers? Are you going to run ads on Facebook? You need to decide what that one channel is, right? And then once you get a hold of that channel, that's where email brings in all the profit. The most important thing about that one channel is that advertising dollars go up every day, right? 2009 was like the gravy train of Facebook ads. If you were running Facebook ads in 2009, you made money, you made a ton of profit on the first sale. Nowadays, we're breaking even on Facebook ads. So if I spend $1 on Facebook ads, I hope I get $2 back, right? $2 would be basically my break even or a little bit of profit if you include the COGS, right? The shipping, everything, right? So I'm hoping I'm breaking even. So how do I make more profit from that? You need email marketing. So one niche, one product, one channel, that's all you need. And then you launch email on the back end to make sure you make profit. You guys might have seen this before in Mike's presentation. Click, capture, convert. How do you get people to opt into your email list? How do you do that? You need to drive people to your website, right? How do you do that? You got to pick Facebook ads, Google ads. What's that one channel that you're going to marry yourself to? Okay. You get them to click on the ad. You're going to capture their info from a pop-up. And then you're going to convert them on the back end through email marketing. And then what does that look like visually? So for Flight Path, this is a Facebook ad. On the left-hand side here, this is a Facebook ad, right? So people see this. Are these golf tees legal? How do we know? These things look kind of crazy. All right, I'm going to click on it because I'm a golfer and I really want to know and see if 25 bucks is going to make me Tiger Woods. And then this pop-up comes up on the website, right, to get a free ball marker. Notice how we're not doing a discount. We're doing a premium here. So we're not discounting our profits away. Golden nugget right there. So we get their information, right? And then they're going to start getting our email marketing on the back end. Question. How many seconds on your website should a pop-up come up? Should it be immediately? 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 10 seconds? Anybody got an idea? 5? Okay, we got 5. We got 5. Did somebody say 10? No? Okay. It should be about, I would say, 15 to 20 seconds. Okay? Why is that? That's kind of weird. Don't we want to get their like information right away? Right. We don't want it to be disruptive. We want you to get sales right away. But if they try to leave, we call it an exit intent pop-up, then we capture their information. Because you know what that means? If they try to leave, that means we didn't communicate something clearly, or they just got busy trying to make dinner or nature's calling or whatever, right? So we want to capture their information and make sure we can email them. So back in summary, how do we build that email list? My preference is ads because it's kind of like a faucet. You can turn it off and on. So if I start spending money, right, if I start spending $20, $100 a day, $1,000 a day, $10,000 a day, I can turn that faucet up and down as much as possible. If I'm doing organic content, right, it's a little bit harder, in my experience, it's a little bit harder to scale, but that's how you turn that faucet up. People are going to come from ads onto a landing page, and then we're going to collect their email through that pop-up. Okay, now we have their email. What do we do? How do we market to them? Are we just going to blast them and say, hey, you forgot this, sale, sale, sale? No, we're not going to do that because we're here to build a real 7-figure profit a year machine, right? So we need to follow the 3 V's, volume, value, and velocity. I'm going to go through this in very high level, but I have a 5-minute demo video on emailandperformance.com where we really nerd out on this. So if you want to go nerd out on it, by all means, go on our website and do that. Volume. What does volume mean? If you're sending 1 email out a week to your email list, you want to do way more than that. If you only have 1 email that follows up with your customer after they abandon the cart, you need to do way more than that. You need 10 emails. So you need to do more than what you're doing now. And of course, there's context, right? Your email list may be 10,000 people, and your email list may be 100,000 people, right? So it may make sense for you to email them one time a week, but it may make sense because he has 100,000 people. We might want to email them 3 times a week, right? But the point is you need to do more than you're doing now. The reason why I say this is most clients that come to us, whether they're doing $1 million a month or $1,000 a month, they don't have enough email marketing. I've never seen somebody doing enough. They might only have 3 abandoned cart emails. I'm about to get into abandoned cart, but our abandoned cart email system has 26 emails following up after somebody tries to buy. So do more than what you're doing now. Value. Value means you don't want to just send discounts to your customers. Mike talked about this a lot when he was presenting earlier. You don't just want to say, Sally abandoned the cart and she's still on our email list, so I think she wants to buy, but maybe she was waiting for a discount. Let's just send it. Let's just send a discount. No, they're in your ecosystem for whatever niche you're in. So for our golf brand, it's let's give them some tricks, some tips, some value. Let's actually answer the questions that they have when they come to our website, right? They might want to know, how do I use the tee, right? So instead of sending a discount email, let's send an email talking about how you actually use the tee. Velocity. This is probably the most important one that's going to take you from doing $10,000 a year in email marketing to $1 million a year in email marketing. Velocity. You want to send emails when the customer is ready to receive them. Okay? The reason why I say that is because sometimes business owners just send emails out when they feel like it, but your customer might not be ready to receive the information. So if I bought your product once, right, versus if I'm a different customer, I bought your product twice, right, you might want to send the information at different times, whatever campaign that you're sending out, okay? So, and you have different types of customers, even though you might have 10,000 people, those are different types of customers in your email list. You might have a customer that's been with you for 5 years versus a customer that's just new today. So how do you send better information when they're ready to receive the information? Okay, so those are the 3 V's. If you do the 3 V's and you do them well, email marketing will be your biggest profit channel for the history of your business. But we're going to talk about how do we make money today tactically, okay? So who has an abandoned cart flow, like an automated email system that follows up with somebody when they try to buy on like your Shopify store? Awesome. We got 1, 2. We got nod ahead 3. Awesome. Hell yeah. So if you don't have an abandoned cart set up, I would recommend you put this as your first homework item from this event. You need to set up an abandoned cart on your Shopify store, on your WordPress site. 75% of the traffic that you have on your website will abandon the cart. That's a well-known fact. 75 people out of 100 people that try to buy, they go to your store, they enter their credit card info, they enter their address, and they still leave. 75% of all that traffic is just going to abandon the cart. Okay, so now what we need to do is follow up with them. How do we follow up? And why do they abandon the cart? First of all, before we even go into following up. Why do people abandon the cart? Well, there's two big reasons. Does anybody know? Any takers? Anybody want to? They got busy? Yeah, that's good. Anybody else? There's one more. Bank declined. Sometimes banks will just decline the transaction even if the customer has the credit, right? But a lot of the reasons that we see in the whatever volume, millions of customers that buy from all of our stores, right? It's either bank declined or they had an unanswered question. They had an unanswered question. So like Mike said earlier, when is the product going to get here? Is this shirt going to fit me? Is this mosquito repellent actually going to repel the mosquitoes on the side of my pool? Right? They had an unanswered question. And that's always going to happen. No matter how good your marketing is, people are always going to have unanswered questions. So how do we solve that problem of the unanswered questions? So we already talked about number one. You want to start on abandoned cart flows. We need automated emails that are following up on the abandoned cart. We only have 2 people in the audience that are covering 75% of lost revenue right now. So this is big, guys. This is big. You guys want to sell your company, you want to get investment, you need this abandoned cart flow. The second gold nugget here, don't send discounts right away. My abandoned cart flow people, what's your first email? What does it say when you send it out? Does it say you forgot it in your cart? Or does it give them a 10% discount? That's what we don't want to do, because we're going to just discount our profits away. We don't want to do that. What we want to do, and we'll get into some visuals here in a sec, what we want to do is I want you to take your top customer service question on your website. Think of that. What does my customer service team get? Or if you're running customer service, what's the top question that I get? That's what you need to put in your abandoned cart. When is my product going to get there? You put that answer in the abandoned cart, and then you want to set it up so that within 15 minutes of somebody abandoning the cart, they're going to get that answer right away. Anybody have questions on that? We're going to get into the visuals in a sec, but okay. Golden nugget number 3, you want to give value through the customer transformation process. So when you follow up in that abandoned cart, what you want to do is you want to talk about what your product does in a day in the life of a customer. Not just benefits and stuff. Oh yeah, we repel mosquitoes. No. Maggie, who's a mom, likes to see her kids in the pool and not have to worry about them getting bug bites, and this is what happened with her life. She's able to make margaritas now and play with the kids and not have to swap mosquitoes every 5 minutes, and now she's happy and she has a Lambo now because she doesn't have to worry about mosquitoes, right? You want to say that in the abandoned cart. What is the transformation process that they're going through? Because you have to remind them why they were there. Number 4, send emails from 3 different people. So what you're going to do in the abandoned cart and through your email marketing in general, you're going to pick 3 different avatars that you're going to send from. You're not just going to send it from the brand. Okay? Everybody with me? You're not going to send it from your brand. So Roller Stopper, you're going to send it from Roller Stopper. That's your first person you're going to send emails from. The second person is going to be Brett with customer service from Roller Stopper. That's the second person. And the third person, testing. Yeah, that's on a roll. Roller Stopper. Switch it. The switch is off. Maybe it died. Okay, bam. And woo, woo, woo. There, I got my zebra again, my zebra call. The third person you're gonna do, so we said rollerstopper.com, right? Is that your website, the name of your website? So rollerstopper.com, it could be contact@rollerstopper.com from the brand, right? That's your first person. The second person is gonna be customer service. So it could be Brett, it could be Amanda. You could just make an avatar and just call her Amanda, and it could be your whole customer service team responding as her. There's no right or wrong here. That's your second one, customer service. Your third one is going to be a founder, figurehead, or speaker person, right? That's going to be the face of the brand. Those 3 people. What does that do for your brand? It makes you look like a real brand, and it makes it more one-to-one. What really works today in marketing, right, is you have to personalize things. People like talking to small brands. People like talking one-to-one, right? So sending emails from those 3 people is going to dramatically increase your engagement, your open rate, your everything on email marketing, okay? Awesome. Oh, this is a big one, number 5. A lot of people just like go into Canva and just create one graphic and then put that as an email. You don't want to do that. Don't create a big ass graphic for your email and then blast it to all your customers. That's a great way to end up in spam. You do not want to do that. I would prefer, if you don't have a graphics team or an email marketing team that's super technical, just make a text-based email, okay? Maybe with 1 photo, and that's it, okay? Because Google will, and the big emailers will rate you as spam, and you're never going to get any revenue from that, okay? Don't make big graphic photos. No, no. All right, so you might be asking, okay, what do we need to do? What's the perfect abandoned cart, Caroline? How do I recover 75% of my revenue that I'm losing? Here are 3 emails that you can do today. Take a picture of this. This is gold. I guarantee you, if you're doing at least $100,000 or more on your Shopify store or wherever, you're going to make 10 grand from these 3 emails. Okay, email number 1. This is going to be your top question that you get from customer service, okay? So the top question that we get on FlightPath is, are these golf tees legal? Can I play with them on the golf course? Can I play with them in a tournament? Okay, that's our customer service question. What's Roller Stopper's customer service question? What's your top one?
We don't have a full-fledged website.
Okay.
It's up and running, but we're very...
Well, what do people ask you? What's the first question they ask you about it when they talk to you?
Price, how do you use it?
How do you use it? That's going to be your first one. How do you use it? That's a good one. And not only is it going to help you get sales, it's going to help lower your overhead because this automated email is answering that question instead of your customer service team. Bam. Profit. I like it. VC guys like profit. Email number 2. You're going to pick a figurehead or someone relatable to talk about your product and how it changes their life and what they do every day. So, for example, for us, Maurice Allen, world long drive champion, wins his first long drive championship using our tees. Okay? You want to create a trust factor with your brand and make sure it's going to create that transformation process for your customer. Email number 3. Ugliest email in the world right here. There's no graphics. And by the way, this is just what the copy looks like, but this is what the graphic looks like right here. But this is what email number 3 looks like. It's just three or four sentences right there. It's from Andy with FlightPath Golf Customer Support. I just want to check in, see how you're doing. Did you have any questions? Okay, and oh, by the way, I still save your cart. You're good to go. And that just makes sales automatically. It's beautiful. Any questions? Amazing. Correct. You want to put a link. You want to put a link. There's a call to action. We call them call to action. There's a call to action. Like every couple graphics or paragraphs here, there's a call to action. It's either there's blue text right here, blue text that has a link right there. There's links riddled throughout here, but every single piece of the fold, right, needs a link. So every time your customer's phone real estate is on there, you need a link in every single section. As many links as you can put. That's a great topic to bring up. Good stuff. Also, gift for you. Who wants our 26 abandoned carts that we do to follow up with our customers for FlightPath? That makes us $10 million a year, or not a year. We do $6 million a year, but it's still good. Who wants it? It's right there. 26 emails. All 26 that we follow up, the exact ones that we have in FlightPath with all the graphics and all the copy. All it is a Google Drive link. You're welcome. If you don't make at least 10 grand in profit with this, you can complain to me on LinkedIn. You just give it to a VA and tell them to set up for you. Hopefully they know what they're doing, but you could set up any emails that follow up with them. Just start something. Awesome. So these are pretty emails. These are pretty emails that we've done for many different clients. And they look nice, but do they actually make money? To an extent. But which ones perform better? Do ugly emails perform better or pretty? Who's on the pretty emails crew? Okay, who's on the ugly emails? Who thinks ugly emails make more? All right, pretty emails crew. Who thinks pretty emails make more? One more time for ugly emails. Ugly emails, awesome. We're at half and half. Drum roll, please. It's the ugly emails. They make a ton more money. And why is that? Well, everybody else does pretty emails. Nobody does text-based emails. Nobody does a one-to-one customer service or connection, and you're going to be different than everybody else and all your competitors out there by creating that connection. And also, doing just text-based emails, it makes you better at just getting the message better instead of focusing on a pretty graphic. So we talked a little bit about one email flow, which is the abandoned cart, right? And the reason why I wanted to talk about that for the majority of the time is because it will make the most money. It's like the biggest thing, right? 75% of people are abandoning the cart, right? So that's going to be your biggest money maker as far as like automatically. But there's a lot more flows. And it's going to be the closest thing to mailbox money you're ever going to get. Let's face it, right? Unless you license your product or your widget to Lowe's and they just pay you mailbox money. But what's more realistic? You setting up abandoned cart flows or licensing the product and then it ends up doing big numbers, with one party. What's the realism here, right? So set up some email flows. And the possibilities are endless. So this is a simple flow chart of what happens or what we want to build when somebody comes in our ecosystem. And obviously, like, I'm going to do like a couple of like really simple email flows today, but when we do our email flows that automatically follow up with customers, there's hundreds of emails that we templated out over the years that really work. So you can get like super nerdy into this. But for here, right, this is where they come in the pop-up form, right? Here's our exit intent pop-up. We're then going to email them what's called a welcome series email flow. We want to welcome them to the brand. We want them to follow us on social media, right? And we want them to obviously buy the product. We want them to take action maybe on the gift that we wanted to give them. So remember earlier in the presentation, we said we want to give you a free ball marker. Awesome. So what's that going to do for us on the back end? They're going to open the email, which allows us to get a better rating on Google because they're opening the email, right? And then they're clicking back on the website. That gets us back on the website so they can get their ball marker for free, right? So that helps us get better statistics with Google. And then you build different buyer behavior flows based on what your customer is doing. So the cool thing about email marketing is your software, Shopify, knows did they start the checkout? Did they place an order? Did they place an order again? Right? And then you can keep building flows, okay? We're going to go through a couple here. And then it gets like really extensive. So this is like, I don't know, hundreds of emails and different flows that we did for a pet brand. And it was just, it's hard to read, but it's kind of cool how intricate it gets over time. So Carol, you might be asking me or telling me, Caroline, 300 emails and different flows, that's like overwhelming. Like, tell me where to start. Where do I start? These are, I told you, abandoned cart is like top priority, right? If you want to make the most sales right now. And then after you finish, get at least 3 to 5 emails in your abandoned cart. Start with that first. After that, you want to do welcome series flow, which is once somebody goes to your site, they put their information in your pop-up or wherever they subscribe, right? You want to start emailing them something. So you want to have 5 emails set up that automatically email them something, okay? Some ideas for a welcome series flow could be, here's our story of how we started. Everybody loves that. Oh, and by the way, at the end, you can put, oh yeah, here's a link to the product if you want to buy it now. Another one could be, like I said earlier, put your social media on there so they can follow you, okay? Et cetera, et cetera. Post-purchase. After somebody buys, do you just ghost them? No. We want to say thank you for buying the product, right? Oh, and if you want to buy again, here's some, bundles, right? Maybe you want to buy not only 1 pack of teas, maybe you want to buy some ball markers and other stuff from the Flight Pass site. We have a whole email flow set up that follow up with people for them to buy other products from the site, okay? Another thing you could do in your post-purchase flow is recommending them to talk about it with their friends, share it on social media, right? There's so many things, but think of 5 different touch points you can say to your customer after they buy, okay? And there's all kinds of software for the post-purchase flow that you can do where you can get them to set up an account with you where they can share the product for commission, right? And they become a reseller of yours. You can have that set up in your post-purchase flow. And then repeat post-purchase. What if they buy again, right? You definitely you definitely gotta, I know we're running out of time here. I get like super passionate about this stuff. So say bye again, set up another 5 emails. This is the next biggest step. Once you have some flow set up, how do you speak to your customers better? So remember the third V of the 3 V's, velocity. You want to send emails to customers when they're ready to receive them. How do you know when they're ready to receive them? Well, you segment them out. So how do you segment them out? There are groups of buyers, right, in your email flow, right, or in your email database. There are groups of buyers, right, that have different interests or they have different relationships with you, right? So maybe they bought X product on your store, but they haven't bought Y product yet. So you need to start segmenting those out, right? And so for the people that only bought X product, you need to start marketing Y product to them, right? That's one segment. Maybe you have a ton of people that have abandoned the cart 3 times, but they still haven't bought. You could segment those people out and send them a specific email flow. Do you have a customer loyalty program yet, right? Maybe you have a consumable product. Maybe you can make a subscription out of it, right? That could be a whole different segment. How do you create more loyalty, more purchases? Have some examples here. You guys got the slides, so we're good. Awesome. I'll close this out with a segmentation case study for a home goods brand. They sold kitchen and bath emails. All we did was at the pop-up, we asked, are you here for kitchen or bath items? We segmented them out, kitchen customers versus bath customers. And they got an additional $25K a month in revenue just from that because we were speaking to the kitchen people about kitchen products and the bath people about bath products. And that is my spiel. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you so much.